Hey guys, Kevin here to bring you a brand new video where today we're going to be doing day 8 of Fail Film February. And the film that we're going to be talking about today is a film called Phoenix Forgotten. Now, I had heard this film was really bad and wanted to see it because of that, just to see like, oh, well, how bad is it really? And don't get me wrong, it's bad, but it's not that bad. I didn't hate it, but I also didn't really like it, but I came away with it with like a couple of like good aspects and definitely some bad ones too. So this movie is essentially about like the disappearance of three people, and it's told in this like sort of mockumentary format, and also like found footage where you're trying to like see, what exactly happened to these people, trying to discover the truth behind what happened here. And yeah, I have to say, a lot of it is really dull and boring, for a number of reasons. The first reason being that, like, a lot of what you see here is just, like, really mundane and boring. Nothing of, like, value is being shown here a lot of the time. It's just, like, characters doing, like, the most, boring, like, things in life. Almost just like watching my life, or, someone whose life is very, uneventful, just watching them do like everyday things. It's just like, why do I want to see this? Like, why do I care about this? Why do I care about this person's like birthday party? Why do I care like that this person is watching like a fun TV show, or eating food, or I don't know, just they just like do sorts of things that I just like, what does this really mean to the story? And sometimes like characters just doing boring stuff like that can be good, I guess. It can be interesting, but here it's not. It's just incredibly boring to watch, and part of that is because the characters in this are so like one-dimensional and unentertaining. They're very like limited in what they are and don't really provide a lot of depth to the story. They're very like forgettable characters, that really don't add much to the story. And the other thing that made this really boring, and this along with the other thing would be enough to like say this movie's fucking awful, and I wouldn't blame you for saying that, is that this movie is extremely predictable. And I mean, I don't even know if I want to say the word predictable, because it basically like reveals the plot to you like early on, and there's just like so little room to like wonder what's going to happen to these people. And yeah, it's just like, okay, I already know now that these people are going to be abducted by aliens, because like literally like early on they see like this like flashing light, and they're like, maybe that's a UFO. Like, ooh, we don't know, it could be like a government thing, you don't know. And then like they start like looking for them, and they're like missing and whatnot. And like one part that I like vividly remember is like this mother or sister, I want to say maybe, is in the car with someone, and she's just like, well, they weren't murdered, they weren't kidnapped, maybe they were. And then the other person says, abducted by aliens. I'm just like, yeah, yeah, dude, of course that's what it is. Like, wow, big revelation. Like, congratulations for figuring that out. And it's just like, this. Even if you just like look at the plot of the movie, like you can see like, pictures of like an alien and stuff, and it's just like where's the like mystery to figure out here, there are like some aspects of this that you can kind of like wonder what's going to happen with, like, how do these people get like abducted by aliens, and what exactly happens to them. And there is like some like anticipation with that, because this movie is like sort of building up to that like reveal, where in the last like 25 or 30 minutes it shows this like final tape of footage of like what happened to these people. And It's kind of entertaining. I mean, it just like there's a little bit of like lead up there, and you're just like hoping for something good, even though you know that like I mean, yeah, it's just like yeah, they get abducted by aliens. We already know that, but you know, there's still like you're still like hoping for something like decent or interesting to happen at least. And what does happen here was, you know, mildly entertaining. I mean, it is like a knockoff of the Blair Witch Project with like, you know, this whole found footage format of like, you know, things happening in front of the camera that you can like barely see because, you know, they're filming on like a camcorder and it's like really shitty quality and you can like barely tell what's going on. But that like makes for some enjoyable, I guess like horror, with just like how these people like get attacked and like, you know, they get like nosebleeds and one of them tries to like hide in a house and yeah, they just like crazy things happen to them. Their car gets shut down, which is kind of weird. Um, but yeah, there's just like some things in here that are decent. You know, it is not extremely imaginative, just because you know you could easily compare this to the Blair Witch Project. You know, it was interesting. Over the course of the day, I was thinking of like ways that this movie could be improved. Like with the movie Cloverfield, that movie's whole thing is like, you know, not showing that much, but like, you know, kind of like immersing you into this environment and showing you that like, you know, these things are attacking them and like this is like what it's like for someone to like be there when they're like documenting the footage. So like one way this could have gone is they could have like just had the aliens like literally attack Earth or that city even, and you know, just show them like documenting the footage of it happening, and that would be like terrifying, rather than just like, you know, three people going missing at the end. Like, eh. I will say that part where they're like documenting the lights in the sky that look like they could be like possibly alien ships, like that was kind of like reminiscent of Cloverfield, and like I really appreciated that scene actually, just for like showing like so little, and yet like it felt like you were there experiencing like something mysterious, something like unknown, and just for that little bit, it was kind of good. The other thing I was thinking of is what if, hear me out, what if they didn't reveal that it was aliens until like the very last minute? What if they just like started out, you know, they could do like the same like mockumentary thing and they're like, the true mystery of these three kids. We could never figure out what happened to them until now. You know, you could like do some like, you know, ominous narration there, and you know, we finally uncovered the tapes and whatnot, and then you just like show them going out, and then you know, maybe in the last like couple minutes you show like a spaceship, and it's just like that would be so much better because you would be like, oh, I finally figured it out at the end of the movie, compared to just like, you know, a third of the way in. And, you know, that's what makes the Blair Witch Project so good, because the Blair Witch Project, you don't know what's happening in the Blair Witch Project. You have no idea what's happening to these characters. And even like at the very end of the movie, you still don't know what's happening to these characters. And it's so like vague and like unclear that it's just like terrifying. But this movie is like the opposite. It's just like, okay, it's aliens. That's it. So yeah, I mean like I can't really get with a lot of it for that reason. You know, but there are things to enjoy about this a little bit. So it's not like completely awful, I don't think. So yeah, I'm going to give this movie a 5.3 out of 10. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.